Ian, I know you've got a Nets hat there. Put it on. It's now time for you to put on your Brooklyn Nets hat.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. It's in the other room. Hold on.
There we go.
Okay.
So, okay.
Yeah, I got it.
Very good. Very good. Very, very short distance between rooms in your spot.
I live in a small house.
Okay. The Kyrie Irving era in Brooklyn is summed up how? Sum it up for me.
Yeah. The Kyrie era is summed up in high expectations and medium return. From a play-by-play man's point of view, it was a lot of fun. Fun to call his games. He is a basketball genius on the court. When he's healthy, when he's ready, when he's locked in, he is unpredictable on the floor, where you don't know what he's going to do next, and you got to be ready as an announcer to go to a certain place that you may have not gone to before. But it's about results, and it's about availability. So for Kyrie, it was a grand total of 52% of the games that he could have appeared in, that he actually appeared in for the Nets. And I think ultimately that's why the decision was made. This was a financial decision for Kyrie, his last known power play where he could actually pull this off and say it and force a trade. Free agent at the end of the year, wanted 4 years, $198 million. Nets were not going to pay that. They tried to negotiate. That fourth year was really the one that came into question, the guarantees involved. And I think they both hit a point of no return where they recognized that this wasn't going to work. So Kyrie takes his talents elsewhere, and the Nets now try to accumulate assets and see if they can make another move or two before the deadline on Thursday to try to put a supporting cast around Kevin Durant that can compete in the East and maybe win a championship.
Well, again, I know this is a negative setup, so I at least admitting that. I mean,
Thank you.
Did the
Thanks
Nets?
for letting me know.
I know. I'm kind of telegraphing my shot here. Did the Nets win in spite of him, or I know he's incredible. I know he's going to the Hall. I know when I take my kids to Springfield, Mass, one day, they'll see his name and jersey and all the baubles and accolades from his career, and I know he'll deserve it. But it just seems to me that there's always something else with him, and this is now the second consecutive. You could make it 3 if you want to include Cleveland, although he departed from there himself. It just seemed he's left places just saying, get out. Twice now in a row.
Yeah, it's a legitimate question, and it's a great question because I think the Nets have had to try to do some soul searching over the last several months, not just the last several days, on what the future is going to look like and the distractions that come with it. He's a gifted player, and he really was on his best behavior after the suspension, and that doesn't go away. By the way, it's not like, oh, well, that never happened. It happened. It's part of a long list of issues that took place where Kyrie was not a participant. And I think the Nets had to weigh all of that. Now, with all of that said, they also had to balance out how KD would react to this. And we still don't know that answer. We don't know if Kevin Durant is, quote unquote, on board or understanding in what just took place, that the Nets had to make this move. It was untenable, and it was irreparable. There was no going back. The Durant situation during the offseason, the Nets always felt if they could sit down with him, if they could speak, if they could communicate, if they could share their vision, they would be able to convince him that Brooklyn was the place to be, at least for now. I think they got to a point with Kyrie that they were no longer having those kind of rational discussions with him and his camp, and that's why this deal happened. Are they better off without him? Clearly, they decided not to pay the 4 years, $198 million, and the decision was made to move on without him and go in a different direction for the franchise. So that's their belief.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.